You just look dark. That's better.
I like it.
That's better.
I like it.
That's good.
I like it. Alexa, play our theme music.
She gonna play the wrong one.
I know she is. She ain't gonna play anything.
She was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Hey, there it is. Alexa, volume 7. We'll start. Can we start? Well, hello, Strong Marriage.
Hey, Strong Marriage.
Alexa, hold our pause on our theme music.
Well, welcome to another edition of Strong Marriage Live.
Yeah.
Today, first, hey, new people.
Hey, new people. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all.
This is
Coach Chris, Soraya, your
and
leadership coach.
You're
Coach Collins.
I am Coach Tenisha.
Coach
This
Tenisha
is
Collins.
Chris Collins.
Yes.
And we are here to help you build a godly, strong marriage.
Strong marriage.
So thank you for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're going to be talking about how to work through misunderstandings. And let me just, let's get all that volume. We want
all that volume.
We want you to hear it. Okay.
Yes.
And you too. Get all that volume.
Yes.
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about how to work through misunderstanding. Yes, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this topic is actually a request from one of our members in Strong Marriage. So we want to say, yay. Want to let you know that we're listening to your feedback and we want to answer the questions that you have. And so I'm not going to name the gentleman who requested, but I want to say again, thank you. And here you go. So working through misunderstandings is crucial for maintaining a healthy and strong relationship.
Yes.
So we're going to tell you today how couples can effectively address and reconcile, not resolve.
I'm going to be a Kirk Franklin of the group today and just talk behind you.
How to get through misunderstandings. Now, Kirk can dance now.
Right.
He can dance. Like he's getting it. He's getting
it in. I can't dance. I got a mean chair dance.
Yeah. We all in the chair dance. Okay. Yes. We must do one of those videos about what it's supposed to look like and in reality.
Oh no. Anyway, let's go back to yes.
So what's our top thing that's going to help us to work through misunderstandings in a relationship?
Always going to be communication.
That's
the first breakdown of any relationship is going to be communication. Not knowing how to talk to each other.
So you want to encourage open and honest communication. You always want to be honest. You always want to be, your spouse should be a place or your partner should be a safe space for you. You should feel comfortable in telling your partner how you feel, what's going on, and discussing those things that are important to you. So that's first. Each partner should feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, their feelings, their perspective, their opinions, their goals and dreams without fear of judgment.
Safe space.
Safe space.
Yes, that's ever growing and ever developing.
Yes. Active listening is also essential. Active listening is like so very important. I can't stress how important that is.
If
you're not actively listening, what is that? What is active listening?
Active listening would be like eye contact. That'd be leaning into somebody. That means touching, if you understand, okay, I understand. Or doing some type of physical response that the person can see that you're actually listening. Like
RJ.
But he knows that you're listening because you're doing.
Yes.
I had a manager once that always, when you're talking to her, And that's
thinking about what you're saying.
Because that means, oh, that person's really listening to me because they're making those facial expressions. So if you do that with your spouse and like, let me do it to you.
But what's happening behind those facial expressions? We're being funny, but
no,
what's
but
happening?
It's true.
Yeah, what's happening behind the facial expressions?
You're thinking.
Is your thought process. You are concentrating on putting yourself in your partner's shoes so that empathy can rise up and help you to understand. So that's what we're doing. Oh, okay, that's you.
Oh,
you work. Yeah.
Oh, so with the toolkit, one of the things that you can do is you can have I love toolkits because toolkits help you develop a process in order to help your marriage go longer with anything. Once you develop a toolkit, you can pull that piece out of your toolkit, the wrench or the screwdriver, in order to fix it. So for communication, one of the things that we're going to pull out would be a active listening guide.
Yes. Ooh, I like this.
Yes. So to ensure all parties feel heard and understood. Right. So techniques, reflective listening, like we said, reflective listening, which is repeat back what you said.
Fishbowl method
and confirm it with my understanding. Yes. Because that fishbowl goes through everything.
It goes through all of it.
It's right. Not just with relationships, but also with business, also with any type of agreement that you have. You have to be able to repeat what the other person said.
Right.
Clarifying questions. Ask questions to gain a deeper understanding. Did you really mean blah, blah, blah?
This is what I heard. Am I correct in saying that blah, 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 blah?
The next thing is pay attention to nonverbal cues.
Ooh, this is big because someone could be saying something nice, but then their body language is like defense, full of defensives and
I knew
angry.
A person that would do that. You would say something and they would make a facial expression, and you knew they were doing that on purpose in order to show their disdain. So they can do that in relationships or whatever. So those tools are going to be your active listening worksheets and your reflective journals.
That's good. I like that. What's the second thing that we're going to do? And we kind of hinted on it when we're talking about the things in the toolkit for active listening. So it goes right along with this.
It's going to be staying calm.
Even before that. Before calm.
It's going to be clarifying. To understand. That's what we're talking about with the effective communication strategies. Clarifying what was said.
So not only are you clarifying what was said, you have to clarify the intentions, the motivation. Mojo Jojo. What's your mojo Jojo behind what you said? Powderpuff Girls. Behind what you said. And most of the time,
potential misunderstandings.
Right. Because if I'm thinking, oh, wait, that sentence that was said was offensive and now my feelings are hurt. But if you think back, okay, clarifying intentions. Okay, my partner said this to me. My partner is not coming for me. My partner is not the world.
No.
My partner is not my enemy. Therefore, now I am calm because I have thought through, like, wait, Chris's intention is not to shatter my self-esteem.
It shouldn't be.
Right. Now, you have to have discernment whether or not your partner is good for you. We're talking about a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship where each one of us cares about the other, we're not going to be out to get each other.
No.
We're on the same team.
Right.
We're a partner. It's us.
We're not bringing
against
up
the world.
past things into new conversations.
No.
I'm putting that new wine into the old skins. We're not doing that. So techniques are going to be clear messaging. Use simple, straightforward language. Don't talk above the person.
Don't talk above the person. You got to know who you're talking to.
Talk exactly with that person. You know how that person responds and reacts to certain how you speak to them. Speak to them like they're on your level. Don't speak to them like they're a child. I'm sorry, talking this way.
I'm laughing.
Don't speak to them like they're a child.
We work together at separate desks, and he was explaining a process, and he went like, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful, he had it down, and it was sexy that he knew what he was talking about. But my brain was like,
And I immediately went, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I was like,
then I thought about it and I was like,
over.
okay, this is what we need to do.
Right.
You have any problems with it? I'll take care of it. But let's put it all on the same level, because sometimes you can know something so well.
Yeah.
And then you think that the other person knows it just as well, but you can't explain it that way because they really don't. You must think of them, on a lower level.
Right.
So you speak at the same level. Right. Don't talk down to them like they don't know.
Yes.
But just explain it so that she can or he can understand it at the same level.
Like a doctor and patient. When you go to see the doctor, they can't talk to you how they talk to the doctors because they have all these long words.
And doctors will a lot of times do that because they don't want the questions. And they'll wait for the nurse to come answer those questions. I told on y'all. Oh, nasty.
That's why I love nurses.
You have to speak layman terms or things that people can understand simply. Not with the long words, not throwing everything out there that you learn, the hermeneutical. You have to be simple.
Yes.
You have to be simple with things.
Right.
Summarizing, you have to be brief summarizations. Don't be long and drawn out, because some people, men, we will tune out.
Yeah.
If you're talking too long and you're not.
Too much information is an overload.
For me, be brief. Tell me exactly what it is. Tell me exactly what it is. And I'll like, oh, yes. Oh, no. You go too long and
you're
it's
like, oh, bring all those words back. What is the action that you require?
You had me at what? No. Feedback loops.
Feedback loops.
Regularly check in to ensure messages are understood. So you have to check on that.
He calls them feedback loops, and I think the women call it complaint counters. Like feedback loops
sounds much better for me.
Yeah.
Men like feedback loops.
Feedback loops.
Yes. I like to do with
Write that down. Yes. Feedback loops.
I like to use the Delta Plus tool for that. That means talk about all positives. Yes. And then instead of negatives, things that you can work on.
There you go. That sounds like the sandwich method. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
And the next thing to help you work through misunderstandings, we kind of touched on as well when we talked about communication. Empathy is required.
Yes.
It's required because you have to put yourself, how would you feel if this was you? How would you feel if someone said that to you or if someone did this to you?
And you actually have to put yourself in that situation, not gloss over it.
Right. You cannot, oh my goodness, do not gloss over it, because when you gloss over it, you invalidate someone's feelings. You just basically told them what you feel, what you perceived, what you're experiencing doesn't mean anything to me.
No.
And that's the worst thing you can do in your relationship.
Yeah. Emotional intelligence.
Woo!
You have to understand the emotional intelligence of what's going on, and you have to it's supposed to enhance the ability to understand and manage emotions in oneself.
You do this very, very well. I think that's why you're so successful in our marriage and on the job.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So techniques you can use: self-awareness, reflect on your own emotions and triggers.
Ooh, that's big. Yes. Coach Aretris Hollins is really big on self-awareness. And I love when we get together and discuss self-awareness and what that does for an individual, especially when they're hurting and when they have experienced a misunderstanding and how to get through that.
Yes.
So empathy is how you get through.
Yeah. Practice putting yourself in another person's shoes and to know that your emotional regulation. Don't be the thermometer, be the thermostat.
Yes.
Which means develop strategies to manage your emotional response.
Right. Self-control. As a child of God, you have to exhibit self-control. You have to control yourself.
So you have to make sure you have emotional intelligence assessment tools. That's part of your toolkit. The other one for your toolkit for this one is going to be journaling prompts focused on emotions. How did this make you feel?
Ooh.
When he said or she said, leave it blank, and then you write in exactly that.
Right.
How did it make you feel?
Oh, it's giving I statements. When you do that exercise, then you make yourself more prone to speak that way when you are dealing with a misunderstanding or a disagreement. So then you can say, I feel this way when this particular event happens.
Yes.
And I need it, blah, blah, blah. But everything is an I.
Everything's an I.
So that you're not pointing a finger.
Because you never want to point fingers at anything. Because one points that way, 4 point. Well, it'd be a different 4.
It's actually 3 fingers pointing back to you. Number 5, in case you wouldn't write this down, number 1 is communication. Number 2 was clarifying intentions. What was the intention of the person who spoke with you? Number 3, stay calm. You have to have your emotions in check, self-control. Number 4, empathy. There must be empathy in order for you to be able to come to a reconciliation, to come to a conclusion in that matter and move forward. And number 5, we talked about that too, I statements.
I statements.
When discussing the issue, you have to say, I felt when this happened. That helps you not blame the other person. Number 6 goes along with empathy, is seeking understanding.
Seek understanding.
The whole goal of you being in a relationship with anybody is to understand and to share experiences. It's great when you can experience something together. We go on a hike together and we saw a snake go by and I was so afraid and you came to my rescue, or we were both afraid and we had to call on Jesus because the snake was just too close or whatever. But we experienced that together. So that's some things. But then if we are apart and something happens and I come and express that, and if you like, that was nothing. What is worse than sharing with your partner?
And the partner just being dismissive of how you feel.
That's, don't do that.
Yeah.
Sharing your life is sharing experiences. So what you would do is you would seek understanding. Well, let me see how did she feel in that situation? How did he feel in that situation? He was afraid, or he was grateful, or he was compassionate, or he was sad, or whatever. But those feelings should be important to you.
Yeah. Just like if they come back, just like if we come back from work, and a lot of times I don't like to bring stuff back from work.
No, he does not.
I don't believe you should bring it back, but sometimes you do have to talk about it. Yeah. And if you have to talk about it and you bring your complaint or what had happened to work to your spouse can't dismiss it. And sometimes they don't want an answer. They just want to be able to be heard.
Yes, I have to remember that because I want to answer. They get what? Mama Bear wants to go get them. Yes. But you don't have to have Mama Bear. You can just understand.
Because the thing that the person has to do is be able to work it out for themselves. So sometimes you don't want to give an answer. You want them to work out an answer because they have to understand how it's going to deal for them, not for you. Your response is never the other person's response. So they have to be able to understand, okay, if this is this, by talking this out, then I can understand that this is my response that I should make because it's coming from me.
Right. The out loud processing.
Yes.
Your spouse, your partner should be able to kind of like brainstorming, bounce things off on you without, judging.
That's part of the empathy. That's part of the communication. That's part of the whole thing that we've talked about. That's just bringing it all together.
Bringing it all together.
Sometimes you just have to listen.
Actively listening.
And don't speak and just help that person work out their process.
Oh, that's good, y'all. Listen without speaking. If you just go throughout your day and try to do that, just remind yourself, don't speak, just listen. Take the time to fully understand your partner's viewpoint. That's what seeking understanding is. Ask questions for clarification.
Yes.
And listen actively to their responses. Help them with their process. They're processing what is going on with them out loud. It's kind of like you doing our job, you being a coach. Avoid making assumptions or jumping to conclusions.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Write that down. I'm going to write this down for myself. Avoid making assumptions, because what does making assumptions do?
But they don't know that anymore.
Making out of
you and me. They don't know that anymore. I tried to do that before. And once you get past a certain age, nobody understands what that is.
Oh, you gotta know that assumption.
No, because they don't know what the animal calling asses.
Oh, that's true.
So they don't
It's
understand.
a donkey, y'all.
Let's died out. Yes.
No jumping to conclusions or trying to solve the issue.
No.
So that's good. Okay. Number 7, finding common ground.
Common ground.
And what we're talking about when we say finding common ground, this is where you both meet in the middle when you've had a disagreement and you feel a way and your partner feels a way, but you got to meet.
Yeah.
You got to meet.
There's
to
things
have
that
reconciliation.
It overlaps somewhere in that conversation and that disagreement. When you do the Venn diagram, you have two things together. Somewhere in that list,
yes,
it's gonna come together, and that coming together, you understand what that is, and then you work out from there. So find out what overlaps, and then from there, once you understand what you both agree on, then work back from that.
That was the businessman. Do y'all know? Tell me in the comments if y'all know what a Venn diagram is.
It's a diagram written by Vin Rames.
Oh, that's funny.
Dad jokes.
Who knows Venn?
Yeah.
I know Venn. Okay. Finding common ground. Look for areas of agreement. Where do you two agree on the issue? And from there, you're going to build. Focus on your shared values, this relationship. Focus on your shared goals, making sure you have a healthy relationship. Working together towards a common objective. The common objective is reconciliation. We don't want this rift in this relationship. No. So what do we need to do? We need to do in order to get to reconciliation. How do we move forward together? What is our plan?
Yes.
That strengthens your bond, and that will resolve the situation effectively and properly.
Yes.
In a healthy manner, instead of you just trying to, because some people are like, well, we're going to move forward, but I'm just going to put it back here, but you don't deal with it
you can't
because it will come up in another, it's going to come around. It's kind of like a cycle of life. You have an issue or a problem, and if you don't solve it or defeat it, if you don't get the victory, that test will come right back around.
I had one of those ideas that just popped in my head that I can't say it, but y'all be looking for it. It's coming soon. I got an idea, and it'll give people access to the toolkit and different things that they'll be able to use. And yes, it's coming soon. In fact, it'll be up this week. Y'all come look for it. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Ooh, apologize and forgive.
Apologize and forgive.
Apologize and forgive. Now I have a whole lesson on apology.
Apologize and
it's not just I'm sorry you felt that way. That is not an apology.
Good for you is good for me.
It's not an apology. I'm sorry. That's not an apology.
You like it, I like it.
That's not an apology. So I will make sure that I make those, because it's like right down there in note form, but I like to make a video to help get you through it. But I will have that up as well, hopefully by next week.
Yes.
And,
I'll help you with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Because an apology has to be done in a certain manner in order to bring reconciliation.
Yes, that's part of the toolkit. Yes. It has to be done in a certain way.
Has to be done in a certain way. And we have a whole thing on that. So we're not going to go through that. And forgiveness. We've talked about forgiveness here before and what forgiveness does for you. Not for the other person.
It's not for the other person.
It's for you.
Yes.
It heals you. It allows God that opportunity to work in you. So if you realize that you have made a mistake or contributed to the misunderstanding, and guess what? You did. Both of you contributed to the misunderstanding. So you want to apologize sincerely. You're going to catch that video or go through the Strong Marriage Group and look through the post to see about that. And you're going to be willing, because we talked about in a relationship, you go into the relationship making a decision and saying, I decide to forgive this person. That's just what you do. As a Christian, you are deciding, once you decide if you want Jesus, you're deciding to forgive other people like Jesus forgives you.
Yes.
So be willing to forgive your partner for their mistakes. So you go into this conversation. We talked about getting peace after reconciliation. You can watch that video on YouTube. In peace, The P is have a peace conference where where you talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go into that conference saying, I forgive this person.
I'm going to forgive this person.
I've already forgiven.
I had to forgive.
We're just going here to make reconciliation.
Yes.
So be willing to forgive your partner.
Reconciliation,
not resolution.
Yes.
Because you're not going to resolve everything. Everything cannot be resolved because we are imperfect people. We're not God. It's not going to be, but you can reconcile. Things can happen. You can forgive them. You can properly address them and make plans so that they don't get repeated. And you can move forward.
Yes.
Like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
So reconciliation over resolution.
Yes.
Forgiveness is essential for moving forward and rebuilding the trust in your relationship. You need trust. Without trust, you have no relationship.
You have no relationship.
So apology and forgiveness. Apologize and forgive.
Yes. I was going to say the other part. Don't worry. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
You sure?
Let me think about it.
Okay.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes. Yes.
One more. Number 9.
Number 9.
We're talking about how do you deal with misunderstanding in relationships? Whether you and your spouse have misunderstood each other, you and your girlfriend or boyfriend, you and a business co-worker, a colleague.
Yes.
There's misunderstanding in every relationship.
Always.
So how do you get over that? That's what we're talking about. And we're on step number 9 or tip number 9.
Number 9.
Learn and grow.
Learn and grow.
There is always going to be a misunderstanding. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Just like in this life, we're going to experience trials and stress and things we don't want to face, negative circumstances and all that stuff. It's inevitable because it is life in a sin-filled environment.
Yes.
So whenever things happen, you need to learn from it. You need to grow. This is how you change for the better. This is how you grow with your partner. This is how you two strengthen your bond. This is how you get better. This is how you get better. Use misunderstandings as opportunities for growth and learning in every type of relationship that you're in.
Yes.
Reflect on what caused the misunderstanding. What happened? How did this happen? It could be something so simple that you overlooked, but how can it happen? Let's brainstorm. What did we do? How did we misunderstand each other? And then once you know that, you can make plans, put things in place so that it doesn't happen again.
Yes.
So that, you know what? When you do that, you learn how to solve future problems.
You do. You
learn how to solve future problems. So you don't have to keep going back to the coaches or the therapist or your pastor, because when you learn,
you set a foundation of how you're going to respond to things in the future.
Yes. So if you learn how to do it properly the first time, then each time something comes up and something happens, you don't want to run from the person. You want to run to the person to get the reconciliation, because you already know, in the end, we're going to be stronger. This is going to be better.
Yes.
And we're going to be smarter emotionally, mentally. So it works. Commit to ongoing communication. What was that? The feedback loop? The feedback loop and understanding in your relationship. Yes. So that feedback loop that's number 10.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Yes. Let's write that down. Number 10 is the feedback loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's typing right now, guys. I am
typing. Yeah. I
Part of your toolkit.
Yes. Well, I said you have to continue to learn. That was something that really stuck out for me. Instead of calling it the complaint counter, because it sounds so negative, you want to inspire someone to go. How can you inspire me to go to the complaint counter? I'm going to complain. Yeah. But if I have a feedback loop,
just put your feedback template that you could have. Ooh. I can design one in a Canva, and then we'll just have it on the site, and you can just go there and pick up some tools that you want and just use them.
Yes, that's a great idea. So by implementing these 9 strategies, 10, let's go back through it. The number one was communication. Effective communication will
Mhm.
save you every time.
Every time.
Because it part of effectively communicating,
Mhm.
the steps that we're talking about
Not
are
only,
in there.
Not only how you give, how you receive the communication, and then give it back.
Number two,
Two,
clarifying intentions.
clarify intentions. You'll wrap us up. It's 1:29.
Oh, okay. Number three, stay calm.
Stay calm.
Number four,
empathy.
Number five, I statements. Number six is seeking understanding.
Seek understanding in all things.
Number seven is finding common ground so that you can get to compromise. Number eight is apologize and forgive.
Yes.
Number nine, learn and grow from each trial.
Yes.
And number 10, the feedback loop. You always want to be giving one another feedback. Always learning from each other. Yes. Making each other better.
Yes.
Enjoying each other.
Learning each other's triggers.
Oh, yes. Learn each other's triggers. Yes. Don't do that. And do this.
And if something does, you have to tell them that is a trigger.
Yeah, honey, that's a trigger.
Sorry, honey, that does bother me. Because you have to say that.
That's the feedback loop.
And that's it. Good timing.
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Yay. Thank you very much. Strong Marriage. It's been a joy and a pleasure as always. Thanks, guys, for coming by and visiting us.
Yes.
My name is Coach Collins.
I am Coach Tenisha, and we're reminding you that you really can have the marriage of your dreams. You just have to build it.
Don't take on the day.
Hey. Bye.
Oh,